Hey guys, welcome back to another video. It's your man Jay. This video is a few reasons why I think you probably should consider the OnePlus 8. Now I've had this device actually for 30 days, believe it or not, and I've used it pretty much every day. And so I found a few things that I thought were very impressive, and I wanted to share them with you just in case you were on the fence or whether or not you should purchase this phone. So the first thing I want to talk about is the screen. Now the screen on this device is a full screen with the camera cut out to the top left. But when you're watching content on it, that little camera on the side, I don't even notice anymore. But just overall itself, the screen is a beautiful AMOLED display. I think OnePlus has always done really good at producing a smartphone display, meaning they're probably getting them from Samsung. But I think the phones that they have, when they call it fluid AMOLED, it's just an AMOLED display that looks really good, but the perks is that it has 90 hertz or 120 hertz depending on which model you have. And this version right here has 90 hertz. And I think OnePlus is doing everybody a service, by giving so much in such a small package. You know what I mean? So compact phones don't exist anymore, powerful compact phones. But this phone for me is kind of small because, again, you already know what it is. So this isn't the biggest phone, but it's not the smallest, but I consider it to be kind of compact because of how thin it is. And I think that's a huge plus when you consider what OnePlus is doing here compared to other phones that they've produced. Some are bigger, thicker, heavier, you know what I'm saying. But the screen on this thing is absolutely great. So I guess that'll take me into the next thing, which is the build quality. The build quality on this device is absolutely great in my opinion. I love this interstellar glow because then I put a SophieGuard skin on there, so you can be sure to hit SophieGuard.com to get this clear matte skin for the back. Or you can just do clear, or you can do whatever color you want. But I think if you have the interstellar glow, you owe it to yourself to grab this particular skin. I think you will be hard pressed to not like this. This thing is absolutely beautiful, and the hardware itself on the device is just fantastic. Really easy in the hand. As you see, I don't wear a case around the house, but when I leave the house, I do put on a case. Shout out to Rinky cases, because I think the Rinky case with the camouflage Fusion X is the top of the line case that they actually sell. Personally, have that for every phone. There's a note camouflage. This one is sitting right over there. And I just feel like the hardware on this thing deserves something really nice when you're going to cover it, and that is definitely the case I recommend at this point. But this hardware, the sleek design, I like the camera in the center. I just like everything about this hardware. Now, another place where OnePlus shines is battery life. Now, battery life is something that's always going to depend on you, the user. But if you weigh it out, I've been using this for a month, so I kind of know how long I can use this device and when it's going to burn out, when I'm going to have to charge it. But ultimately, I'm getting about 8 hours of screen on time, 7.5 to 8 regularly on every charge, and it's going about 36 hours tops for my usage. So I think any phone that goes past a full 24 hours deserves to be spoken of, as far as standby time goes because 8 hours of screen on time with a day and a half worth of usage, that's pretty good considering the amount of money we're paying for these phones. We want it to last at least a day. And I think OnePlus has definitely done right by us by giving us some good battery, which leads to the next thing, which is the software. Now, the software on this phone, stock Android with tweaks. You can definitely customize this device without pretty much installing anything. You can change the icon packs, you can change the colors, you can do anything on the device that you want to without installing anything if you don't want to. So I think OnePlus has always been at the top of their game, as far as the software goes, because I like stock Android. So I think OnePlus does us a service by offering a stock Android experience. And I think that's something that you really should take note of. Fast, fluid, in day-to-day tasks for performing. Yeah, I think the software is totally, it's on and popping, man. So the last thing I want to talk about is pretty much the price. Now, the price on this has become like $699 for a quote-unquote flagship device, because this is a flagship device. It's got all the internals that a person would want. And you know, it's just a good setup, and the price is $699. So some people can use an educator's discount and get it, like I think it's like 5% off for students, or you can just try to find a good deal somewhere else. There's a lot of places you could possibly look online, but you have to do your research. But I think that $699 is I think it's a fair price for this, considering the way I want to use my phone and what I'm willing to pay. This is beautiful hardware. I mean, everything I've mentioned so far, and not to mention the speakers, the in-screen fingerprint reader. Yeah, those things are another plus that I would recommend you to get this phone and check it out. But if you're wondering, there are some things. There's one thing in particular that I'm not a fan of. It's not a high mark for me, and you already know what it is. It's the cameras. The cameras on this phone don't live up to the hype that OnePlus put out there. The only time these cameras perform at a high level is when I'm outside. It seems like when I want to snap a photo, I have to switch phones. I either go to my iPhone or my Redmi Note 9S, my Note 9, my Note 10, any other phone. This one just doesn't produce the colors like I want. You know, I don't know what it is. It just doesn't produce them like I want to. And so I'm not a fan of the cameras, and that's pretty the only downfall I think I've found with this device. The cameras aren't horrible. They're not the best they're not the worst set of cameras, but they're not the best set of cameras. And so, again, you get to price $699 is kind of steep. It's not a drop in the bucket for a lot of people. So once you go past that $500 mark, I want some stellar cameras. That's just a personal thing for me. I want some fantastic cameras if you're going to tell me I'm going to pay more than $500. And everybody has their limit of what they want to post. So if you haven't seen the Smartphone Conversations group on Telegram, links in the description. Join up if you're about no nonsense. Only come to my group if you're not going to bring nonsense and childish games. You're totally welcome. It's open to the public. You can totally join up and bring technology-only conversation. I'm all for it. And there's a poll in the group right now, and I kind of put up, you know, what would you spend for a phone in 2020? And it's all variety of people. Everyone's answer is not always the same. So I think pricing on this for the package, when you look at the one downside I have, is just the camera. I'm fine with it. I don't mind paying $699 for this. Do I want to pay $699? No. Would I recommend this over, say, the LG V60? No. The V60 is now $699 on T-Mobile, and I totally recommend that device. Now, hardware is better on the OnePlus, but the overall experience on the V60, I just like it better. I don't know what it is. It's a bigger phone. I just like the V60, and the battery is definitely better on the V60. I mean, pushing down 12 hours of screen on time, that's not an easy task for today's standards. But nonetheless, the OnePlus 8. Phenomenal device, totally recommended. You'll find things on it that you like or dislike. Some of you guys probably love the cameras. I just like the cameras. But there it is. It's your man Jay. Hope you guys enjoyed. This phone is really solid. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.